1, 2, 3, 4.
What is happening? We are backstage in the Empire. We're doing the podcast this week, so we don't have any of our signage up, which we need to have because we have sponsors. And one of our sponsors, who's a fucking amazing, is that praise guy. That praise guy is fucking brilliant.
The one and only.
The one and only. People are becoming millionaires by the thousands. He puts houses up in East Belfast and Bangor, and most of the people that win them are from the West and take the money.
There's holidays, there's cars.
There's everything.
There's everything.
And do you know what? He has given us a code. He gave us a code. MUDBLOOD is the code. Gets you 10%. And the 10%?
Yes.
10%. Maybe 15. Could be 20. But
it gets you
whatever.
something.
And do you know what? He does draws for holidays, cars, sports tickets, dinners, money, houses, whatever you want. Praise guy, you can win it all. Go and check him out. That praise guy, win yourself big.
About the camera, sure.
Kick the camera and bounce about.
Come on.
We're also sponsored by our friends at Manscaped. Manscaped. Not like Willy's top half, Harry, Chewbacca, Michael Stone sort of mullet fucking fun.
Harry, Chewbacca,
Willy's
Michael Stone.
balls.
But below that,
Willy's balls.
Gone.
Like the baldy man and Guess Who. Completely fucking bald. He is no hair down there. It looks like
it's all up here.
Looks like he has alopecia or whatever you want to
Alopecia?
say. But he doesn't.
tired of having hair on your jalapenos?
He doesn't, because you know why? He shaves them, and he shaves them with the 5.0 lawnmower that you get in a pack with boxer shorts, nose clipper, which I don't have. I need one. Nose clipper,
you can borrow mine.
ball toner, ball deodorant, all comes in a wee pack. And do you know what? You can get some money off.
How do we help our fans look like they have alopecia,
You
Paddy?
type in MUDBLOOD, you get 20% off. Do you know how much 20% is?
It's a fifth.
A fifth of what?
100.
A fifth of 100.
That's
And is it
20.
£100? I don't know. It may be a wee bit more. I'm not too sure the actual price. But regardless, you get 20% off.
Yeah. 20% off your order with the code MUDBLOOD to our friends at Manscaped. They've been with us from the start.
We love
Still
them.
with
Part
us.
of the family.
We
They're
love
like the
you.
Jack Russell would never put down.
We love them. Thank you very much and enjoy this week's episode.
Bump up. I love that Willy was actually going to clap.
I was
Do you know what? I was going, fucking Willy, you're fucking pushing the boundaries
What's the
here.
sound of one hand clapping?
One.
It's the wee knee slap.
It's the wanking sound, isn't it?
Is that the sound of one hand clap next? That's a wet hand.
That sounds like a euphemism for a wank. One hand.
A one hand clap.
A one-hand clap with the skinhead with a puller neck.
That's what this one's being called. One hand clap.
One-hand clap with a skinhead
Hello,
and a puller
welcome
neck.
to the MUDBLOOD podcast. Myself, William Thompson, Paddy McDonnell, and we're joined today by our special guest,
Kevin McGAHERN.
Kevin McGAHERN.
Did you do that because you can't pronounce my name as well?
I would say yes.
Angelica.
I would say genuinely.
Because I thought your name was
Do you know
Stephen.
what? We were talking about pronouncing a Chinese girl's name. Willy had the same level of oh fuck with an Irish name. Do you know what I mean? It's like a Protestant thing up here where they're like, oh my God, what the fuck is that?
It was half that. It was also half. I knew it was Kevin, and I couldn't remember. It came after that, and then was
you ever-
naming every Irish comic named Kevin.
Did you
in my
ever
head.
think of changing your name to something more show busy? Like Jimmy Chuckles or
Well,
something?
there was a thing like with Carl Spain where he
mean,
was.
go on
Carl
a
Spain
cruise
years
ship,
ago
yeah.
said to me years ago, would you not think about changing your name? And you know, if you don't know Carl, you think he's being a cheeky cunt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, he is
Even
a
when
cheeky
you
cunt.
do know, yeah, he is.
He's a cheeky cunt, but you know what I mean. Once
he
you
says
get
it
to
with
know,
love.
once you know, you just know he never switches off. Do you know what I mean? So he was like, do you not ever think of like changing your name because like there's Patrick McDonnell? And I was like, no, but I'm Paddy McDonnell. He was like, yeah, because that's so much different. And it probably isn't.
To be honest, like Paddy the Dagger does sound like a crime report. Like
And you know what? It's maybe good that that came about because that gets more use now than I suppose I'm known as Paddy the Dagger. Like if you Google Paddy McDonnell, Patrick comes up at the start and then it's Paddy the Dagger after.
what would you do though if some lad did escape from prison and he was called Paddy the Dagger? And then suddenly
Sue the
he's on
fucker?
all
I
the
would sue him.
channels.
I would sue him.
You can't find him. He's
Hey,
on the
the
run.
guy's on the run from
He's on
jail.
the
He's
run.
not going to show up to a summons.
I'm from West Belfast. I'm like
I'll
fucking
find him
Liam Neeson
and I'll
and
kill him.
taken. I will find that cunt, especially if he's done that.
No, it's mad. Like it's good you're Paddy the Dagger because there is this recurring thing where no fucker can get your last name right.
Yeah.
And it annoys me, and I'm not even.
Are
you.
you writing on posters, you mean? The
Paddy
spell?
McConnell, not even comments.
Yeah.
Paddy McConnell, Paddy McDonald, Paddy O'Donnell.
The man with many names.
Yeah.
I should maybe change it to that. Paddy many
Dagger
names.
sticks out.
Yeah.
Dagger sticks in. I had an altercation 5 minutes. I had an altercation 5
Do you
minutes
know why
off
I'm
the bus
called it?
today. No, why?
It's just because you're saying the dagger sticks in, so you obviously don't know. And I was going,
Oh, maybe I do and I forgot. I'm notorious
Let's
for
see, can you
forgetting
guess
stuff.
why he's called it?
Were
before
you
we tell
stabbed
the
a lot of
story?
times? Or did you stab a lot of times?
I have been stabbed twice in my life.
Have you? Fuck?
3 times. But that is not why I'm called Paddy the Dagger.
There's another reason.
Yes, it's even better.
Go on.
I have a tattoo on my cock of a dagger.
And which one of the boys gave you this nickname?
The one that tattooed that on.
Now, is it like a rapier or is it like a little
I'd like to hope
prison
not. He'd be in
shank?
jail for doing that.
Yeah, raping, yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to think of a name for a big knife.
I'm well named for jail already, isn't it? It was meant
Is
to be
it
a
a little-
samurai
is it a-
sword, but it's
It's a prison shank.
it's more a wee shift.
It's like a little knife
Stanley
made
blade.
from a toothbrush and a Stanley blade.
Some people say a needle. Do you know? Paddy the needle may be a better name for me.
Yeah, there's that old joke of I got your name tattooed on my cock.
Yes.
And they're like, well, he could just fit on the initials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is, genuinely, when I was getting the tattoo, I wanted to get hello down the back of it. And the guy doing the tattoo says, you'd be lucky getting he. But I never thought at the time that I could have got high. Which is pretty universal, like hello, like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But then it ended up, I got what I got. It was a friend of mine picked it and was like, what about that? And I was like,
Was
this
it painful?
It's dead meat.
It's dead meat. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
It only really gets sore the
your
closer you
porn
get to
name?
the tip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dead meat.
Dead meat.
That's such an awful description of your cock. Your poor wife.
Do you know, now, if it had been a rack when I got it done, probably would have hurt. But because it was flaccid, no.
Wow.
I feel like it would have. If I had been getting it done, it just would have went.
Yeah, I would
you
have.
know
Mine would
what?
have gone inside
I
like a
didn't need
dog.
more ink if they were doing yours.
Trust me, when there was that many thousand people watching me get
You
it
get your
done,
name fully
you
done in Irish
try-
in yours.
you don't get erect.
On the data.
You actually be a wee bit. It's like one of them things. Do you ever watch when they try and get ordinary people to do porn and they have like naked women in front of them and none of them can get an erection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stage
That
fright.
it's definitely.
Oh no, I
the
wouldn't be
case.
worried about getting a horn. I'd be worried about my cock retreating like a soldier or like a dog's cock.
Because it's getting
Just
hurt.
going straight into the belly.
Yeah,
He'd
like
never come out.
sausage roll has too much
Yeah.
pastry around it.
Funny,
The
funny,
meat's gone.
funny. The guy got me to
Just
put
makes
my,
a little.
the guy got me to put my balls into my stomach
Why?
and like put an elastic band around it.
I
like,
actually
and-
feel physically ill listening to
like an
this.
elastic band with like a bit of an apron around it when
Yeah.
he was doing it, so that the ink, because he was doing it with a hammer and a stick. He
With a hammer.
So you've never told me
Was he
that part of
fucking
it?
chiseling it?
yeah. It
Who's
was
the
done.
only
It
person
was
getting
done.
a tribal tattoo on their cock?
It was done by a Maori guy, so it was done like he was the only one who would do it.
Oh my god, that's way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
So
That's
like
awful.
he saw, and then like he physically had to grab it and like stretch it out and stuff. And then at the end when he finished, you know, you put cream on. He pulled out the tub of cream and he put it on his fingers, and then he just sort of looked at me and then he handed the tub over and I went, "Fuck it, I'm paying for it. I want the full service." And he went, "Get the fuck."
You must,
Happy ending and everything.
you must have to question your career decisions when you're holding a wee man's flaccid cock, hammering stuff into it. You might be going, I could have
Can
been
I
a
tell
teacher.
you something? He fucking cleaned up. He cleaned up that day, and I'm not talking about my cat. He cleaned up like everyone was round his stall when at the convention. Like,
Wow.
Wait, hang on. This again, I thought you were in a tattoo shop in a convention. Mm-hmm. So like,
Oh, like a tattoo convention
like
job.
laid out like freshers fair. They're just stalls.
so everybody was getting them to do piercings and all after, like
And he's a Maori buck.
Mary Buck, yeah.
Wow.
Didn't
Had he
understand.
face tattoos?
Didn't understand a fucking word I spoke. He had a girl from Manchester fucking actually, she was translating for him, which is fucking insane that somebody from Manchester, he could not make me out what's what. And I did have
You're
a
hard to understand when you're fucking hammered
Thanks.
though. When you're hammered,
If I'm getting a tattoo on my cock by a Maori, I want us to have full communication. I don't want a fucking Manchester translator.
Listen, this was one of the. This was
Yeah,
on
you
my
come out
stag
going,
do.
"I
This
told
was
him
on
a
my
cock."
stag do cabin, and it was one of them ones that was like, I think it'd be a great idea if you got your dick tattooed, and I was like, that is a fucking brilliant.
Who was the
idea."
groom? Fucking Steve-O.
I I was the groom,
You were the groom.
which was 4 weeks before my wedding. And then when I
Jesus
got it
Christ.
done, he was like, "You can't have sex for like 3 months." And I was like,
The wedding night fucked.
"Holy fuck!" Didn't think about that one. You know, so
Did you still do it?
still do what?
Have
job.
sex before that a lot of time?
Yeah.
Ah, you're a brave
And he ended up in level 3.
Fair enough.
Yep. So I got an infection in it, and the body flew a lot of fluid around it. And my dick did. Do you know? Like, do you remember years ago? This is, I don't know why this images comes in. It must be because it says. Do you know when you bought Nivea fucking sun cream?
Yeah.
And your ma got a free beach ball with it. No. So you got the like Bulgarian. You got this dark blue beach ball that said Nivea on it. I was scundered, but when I blew it up, the Nivea got bigger. That's what my dick looked like. So I was down in level
Did he
3.
tattooed Nivea on it as well?
No, but I'm saying when it was the size of a beach ball. And
I like the idea of like in a Nicolas Cage in National Treasure, like knowing that there's some sort of symbol drawn on this Northern Irish man's cock, and he has to get him aroused so we can read it. He goes, "Oh, it's a dagger. It's pointing to the treasure."
and then he does a flip in his leather jacket. That was a very good impression of him, actually.
That was a good
it?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
For so, like, you weren't even, like, you just went into it and it just.
I think it sounds. I'd say it probably sounds very similar if I was doing the man from Bill and Ted and John Wick. What's his name?
Keanu Reeves.
I'd say if I did Keanu Reeves, it'd be
Can
identical.
see that.
Yeah.
Can see that. Do you do impressions?
Not really, no. Occasionally, like, I suppose you'd slip into one and stand up. Did
Do you ever do
Jodie
them-
Foster the other night out of nowhere.
And did it work?
Yeah. It was at a sort of LGBTQ plus gig. And I was
just
like,
thought,
any,
I'll do-
any members here? And like one meek woman at the back. And I was like, what the fuck? I was kind of expecting more at an LGBTQ plus gig.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking Jodie Foster at the back. And then I did a Jodie Foster impression.
And what one did you do?
It's actually very similar. It's kind of like how she sounded in Hannibal Lecter, like Mr. Lecter. It's that kind of fucking this little bit talking through the teeth.
Can you do
You know?
Jodie Foster describing his dick tattoo?
It's long. It's pointy at the end.
Live.
And I had an altercation 5 minutes off the bus
Today?
today, like
In Belfast?
20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm still
Was
fucking.
it a junkie or was it somebody on the bus?
I think he was a one-shoot alcoholic. I was walking down Great Victoria Street and I could see him up ahead and he was definitely kind of all over the place, and then he went over to my side of the footpath and then there was like a girl in her 20s in front of me, like red dyed hair, and he just kind of went for her and was blocking her view, blocking her, to go by, and she didn't know what to do, and I was like, hey, I was like, leave the girl alone.
Did you put the big thing on?
I don't know, I just went like
The
tough.
guy's like, fuck me,
I
it's
just went-
Jodie Foster.
Nicolas
then-
Cage and Keanu Reeves all in one?
He came for me and like I stuck up the fist and I was like, and leave me the fuck alone as well. And he was like, all right. And then I was like fucking flying with adrenaline. And then I walked on a bit and the girl was in front of me and I was kind of walking faster and I looked back and she didn't even like register anything at all. She had fucking headphones in. And I was like, she didn't even know.
Know what happened?
And I
Said
was
he
like,
knowed you shaved it?
you all right? And she was like, yeah, I'm grand. And I was like,
John,
obviously it's good to help, but like, what's the fucking point?
she's so used to walking down that road
Really?
that it's like junkie Frogger.
Right, yeah.
You'll just have to dodge them,
Frogger,
and just
yeah.
go past them. You get used, like they're everywhere.
But like that was my Clint Eastwood moment. Nobody was around.
I remember a mate of mine, he got a brand new van and we were working in the town and we were driving through the town, passing actually the front of the Europa Hotel, and there was two of them and the taps off and your mum was going, right, who's fucking, come on, they're fucking all right. And people were like, it was like 6 o'clock. So I got out the window and I went, yo, fucking move, you fucking ball bag, fucking stab it. And he was, what'd you fucking say? And my mate driving the van was like, it's a brand new van, so if he fucking does something, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I went, no, well, if he does something to the van, you can kill him. Do you know?
Yeah, it doesn't
But he
make your
was-
van better.
He was freaking out, so we stopped at the lights, and the two of them come up the window, and I just looked out. I went, what the fuck are you going to do? And they went, nothing, I just wanted to say, like, we're not scum.
I
was
resent
like,
the implications.
Yes, clearly are. It's 6 o'clock. You have no tops on, your faces are all
Yeah, it's
busted.
not like they're there in like tuxedos and top hats.
Yeah, they were
With a
like,
monocle on.
hard are you? We're going
Just so you
into
know,
a dinner
we're
in here.
actually high-standing members of society.
But my mate Frankie was just like, he better not touch his phone, I swear to fuck.
One thing I can't stand for is you predagizing me.
I remember at a fucking protest at something, there was the cops was out and they were shouting to the thing, and this man was standing there, and he tried to say to them, do not. He was trying to say, do not fucking paint me in the same pictures, everybody here.
Yeah.
But he can't. You are trying to fucking don't paint me with the same brush as these fuckers. He was like a journalist or something. It was fucking hilarious. I don't know if he panicked that everybody stopped and was quiet and was looking at him, but it was when he couldn't get it out, and then he just went, do not fucking paint me in the same pictures as all these fuckers.
I love the idea of a violent protester getting shy.
Yeah,
It's like he's throwing bricks at the police, and he's like, "Oh God, I'm terrible."
I think he
public
was maybe
speaking.
an observer or a journalist or something, but he genuinely wasn't with the crowd. But your mom was sort of pushing at him and then was pointing at him. He's like, "Don't that." It was so funny. Love that shit.
We talked about that a few weeks ago during the race riots, didn't we? Where the guy got hit with a brick in the dick.
Oh,
I watched
so
that
funny.
5 times in a row.
So
a
funny.
brick in the dick.
Right.
brick in the dick.
So it was in. Was it Southport? Was that where the? So he was charging towards the police as people are throwing bricks at the police. So he gets hit in the back of the head, spins round to go, what the fuck? And as he spins round, brick hits him square in the bollocks.
And then he gets another one after.
He gets another one as he's going down. It's Southend. It was fucking beautiful.
That's a proper
I loved
Jeremy
it.
Stockport,
Beadle job,
wasn't it?
like.
Yeah.
Southend.
Yeah, it was.
So he was hit. It was friendly fire, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his fault.
He was dancing towards, like, it showed him earlier in the night, and he was sort of like, oh, no, like, come on, this is great. And then he went up to the cops and he done this wee dance. The next minute, bump, turned round, bump. It was like, somebody was like, that dick's letting on, he's with us. Fucking fuck off. Because he done this wee dance. It was so funny.
Why will nobody accept me?
I'll show you it after. Honestly, I watch it every morning. It like gets me out of bed.
The different clips and commentary to it and all this fucking. Do you ever see this guy in America that commentates on all the fights and all the like? Have you seen this? I have to get this up and show you it. No, it's not even Joe Rogan, but there's this guy who commentates on, like, so a clip will come in, say 2 guys on a motorcycle in Brazil fucking robbing somebody at fucking gunpoint.
Yeah.
So this guy goes, oh, here we go. 2 assholes on a motorcycle coming up now. Here they go. They steal the purse, but look what happens. Here comes the guy in the Mercury car. Yeah, you just get served up. I fucking
So it's like a violent Jeremy Beadle.
I fucking sit and watch it. It's so fucking. It's actually, I wouldn't watch the
Every
videos
video
only-
we show gets $250.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's so fucking good. I love it.
No, I've seen the Aussie man do that. Yeah. The Australian one. I've seen him.
Yeah, I
like
like the
American.
Aussie guy. I like the Aussie guy. Yeah,
It's
he's good.
fucking good. Such a good concept too, 'cause you can just do that for
Forever.
anything.
Yeah.
For anything.
Forever.
And you can do that, forever.
Because there'll always be mad daft
Forever?
shit happening.
So do you come up to Belfast often for this show? Where's it you're from originally?
Cavan.
Cavan.
So I'm just over the border.
Very good.
It's a
Yeah.
county in Ireland.
What part?
It's one of the counties that they left out because there was too many Finions in it.
But it's up in,
When they were
it's up in
forming
the
Ulster,
northern
they were like,
direction, isn't it?
leave Cavan and Monaghan and Donegal out. Too many Finions.
Isn't Donegal more north than fucking Belfast is?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the
it's
most
right at the
northern,
tip of
the
It's
most
like
northern part of Malin
Fucking
is.
Iceland, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why you
I
meet people
love-
from Donegal and
Do you
they
like
do
Donegal?
sound like us.
Yeah, I like Donegal. It's lovely. It's
It's
gorgeous.
fucking
That's
amazing.
great.
Really good, like.
The only place down
There's
south
really
I don't love is Dublin.
loads,
That's it.
loads and
Say again?
loads of-
The only place I don't love down south is Dublin.
Why?
That's the only, I just don't like the city.
Yeah.
The centre, like outside of it's fine. Just centre, I just don't.
Like it's grubby or what?
A little bit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
grubby. A little bit grubby. Very.
It's
junky
annoying
heavy.
because like it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like
I mean, all the
it's
bars
becoming
love
more and more
having a
like a
carpet.
shithole, but they keep charging more and more money.
Yeah, you're being charged €12 to have a pint.
Yeah.
While
I-
a dude's pissing right
I
next to you.
have a great story. I was down at Crook. Our Evian was on the pitch at half time because they'd won the Fela with Antrim. And so we were down for the women's All Ireland final. And we were coming towards the stadium, and the Garda wouldn't let me take the first turn, in Dracomara, right? And we were and this guy was in a high vis, just started waving me in. And my wife was like, I don't think he's official. And I went, he knows something that we don't know. And she went, he looks like a junkie. I went, I know, buddy. They all do around here. I says, he knows something, right? And we pulled in. It was like the street after the bridge. And it was a dead-end street. And my wife was like, do you really want to park your car here? And I went, listen, trust me, he knows this place.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, how's it going? That's my house in there, right now, right? And all you have to give me is fucking €10. I'll mind your fucking car. And it was literally beside the stadium. And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, it's fucking fine. We're fucking parking here. He's in that house. So I was like, go into the house.
He's a businessman, clearly.
Yeah. So he went into the
Relax,
house.
love.
And next minute, this other one followed him behind me and must have shit themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they started reversing out. And he started chasing after the car. And he was like, don't be fucking coming back when you don't find a fucking parking spot now. Fucking tell you now, he's fucking here in this big fucking motor. And he's happy enough. And I went, that's because I have a northern fucking accent. And I know where you fucking live. And I went, all right. But it's just wee things like that I love about Dublin. And I've always felt as a kid, I don't know, I spoke about this to a few other acts down there, but once we get over the border from being up here, we sort of feel like we're at home because nobody's going to question us down there. And then you get down there and people's like, go on, back up north, you fucking northern chip in your shoulder, cunt.
Jesus.
You know,
That's why I love it.
I've
the only people respect that from me.
I've used
No one calls me Irish down there.
the North accent a few times to get out of jams because it's the one accent that like proper
They're wary of.
dubs, like fucking Scobie dubs, are terrified of the North accent.
Are they?
So there's been a couple of times
Listen.
where I've like had two lads gonna start on me, and I just said, "Here, listen here now, you be doing well to fucking walk on." And as soon as they hear it, they're like, "Fuck, that lad's Daz."
yeah.
And
No,
they just fucking leave it because they're
genuinely-
unfamiliar. In like you couldn't try that shit in Cavan.
Like if you had a Cork
Like,
accent
that
in
fucker's
Dublin,
from
they're
Monaghan.
going to stab you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to fucking...
but it's like an animal they haven't recognised. It's like if you're a monkey and you've never seen a lion, and then a fucking lion walks in, you'd be terrified of him.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great way to look at it.
It's a bit, they're unfamiliar.
I'll
with
tell
that
you
accent.
another reason.
So it
a
scares
lot
the
of
shit out
a lot of paramilitaries from up here went down and started working as doormen in Dublin.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So they associate, don't fuck with them because they're paramilitaries.
Yeah.
So that accent, like, is you're not getting in tonight. They're like, we're not arguing with him. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Because I'm so used to our accent that I don't realise how harsh our accent is.
Yeah.
Like, even if you go to England and you're sarcastic to someone, they think you have a fucking problem, like a genuine
Yeah,
problem with them. So if they walk into a bar and be like, oh, is this, Witherspoons? I'm like, nah, it's a Burger King. And they'll be like, oh, is it? I'm like, no, I'm joking. Like, they can't pick
You're
up.
particularly sarcastic though as well.
I am extremely sarcastic, which
You're-
doesn't help.
You're dropping them sarcasm bombs the whole time. like.
Oh,
Yeah,
always. I don't realise how sarcastic I am until I speak to other people.
Oh, do you not?
No, I don't really know. Not really, no. It's not until I speak to other people and they're like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, I'm just sort of like the college Spain thing.
Yeah.
Like, once you know me, you know
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't mean it.
When Willie started, he was like 17. And when he came into the green rooms, me and him would fucking be like, fuck up, and just dead cheeky at each other. And people
Yeah.
were like, you two don't like each other.
Yeah.
We actually fucking
Are
do.
very good friends,
Like,
yeah.
we're friends. It's
Well, I was listening to a podcast and John Ford and all these American actors. You know, John Ford did like The Searchers and fucking Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, loads of westerns. But he was Irish, moved to America when he was very young. But all the actors, they were like, if John liked you, he would like insult you quite badly. And he would be mean. But if he didn't like you, he'd just ignore you.
Yeah.
He'd just like look past
be
you.
happy that
and they
he's-
were like, what an unusual man. I'm like, that's everyone in Ireland.
Yeah.
Everyone in Ireland. If I don't like somebody, I'm just like very polite.
And do you know Glasgow has Glasgow has a lot of that too. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
you
yeah.
big fucking fat cunt. That means I like you. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I mean that affectionately.
oh, they do. Do you know what? It's a mad sort of thing. It probably comes from a lot of Irish going over there as well too.
We got that, like, last week me and Butler were doing an ad for Centra for their new chicken fillet roll. Of
course you would.
That's right, I'm getting all the big rolls now.
Fuck me,
Advertising their new chicken fillet burger.
You mentioned that in the same fucking breath as we were talking about John Ford.
Yeah.
I love that. It was like, yeah, well, John Ford might have done all those movies in America, but I just done Sandra.
I never sold a fry, did I? All right, so we all did different work. But some guy in the street recognized me in Butler. And they went, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just shooting an advert for this chicken fillet roll. He let's grab my belly. He went, you love that, you big bastard. And then walked on. But I know that's him going, he's a fan. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm crying going, no, he likes me.
Yeah.
I'm doing really well.
Yeah, I a lot of my fans are cheeky cunts to me. Like,
Yeah, and you have to learn not to take it if they catch you in a bad mood, like see when you're just like, see if you're in your sweats and you're
Willie's
just
always
filling
in a
up the
bad mood.
garage. I am always in a bad mood.
In your sweats?
Do you
Did
know
you
what
say it?
If you're in your
Did
sweats,
you just say it?
what do you
Like
call it?
in a
Did you just
tracksuit bottom, or-
fucking say it?
So, yes.
Fuck off, Willie.
What do you call sweats?
Tracksuit pants?
They're not trackies. Sweatpants, like literal sweats, like grey sweats.
So you're
They're not trackies.
so
They're
you're
not
at
trackies.
you're at the garage with your
Yes.
sweats.
I'm at the I'm at the garage in my sweats, like an
I
adult.
can't believe you said that. Like, I
But they're called sweats. They're not trackies. They are different things.
I
Do
know,
you
but I
go in
mean,
and
like,
say,
Those
do
are
you sell
sweats.
sweats in
Those
here?
are sweats.
just
Do you
sounds too
sell
American.
sweats in
Just
here, or
sounds
do you
too
walk in and
American.
say, sorry, do you have them tracksuit bottoms for sale?
There was a brief moment in time where you could call them sweats, and it was when all them Canterbury ones were
Yeah,
popular.
I still call them
Because
sweats.
They were like a fancier version of sweats.
So I
Like
ca-
that top, that's a tracksuit top. Those are sweats.
I
See
just
if
ca- I call-
N-dubs
I
didn't
call
wear
them
them on
my
stage,
comfy
they're
pants.
sweats.
They're
What
my
do you call
comfy pants.
Yeah, your comfies. Your comfies. But like when you're at the fucking filling station with your comfies on, and then someone comes over and be like, "Are you so fat, wee fucking bastard?" And you're like, "I'm not in the mood." What?
Changed since you've done that, Sandra. Oh, Jesus Christ. The
What?
filling station?
Yeah.
The filling
The
station?
filling station.
I have never called it a filling station in my life.
It's literally what it says on the like the ad for it says filling station.
Where does it say?
Like see if the big banner of it says filling station.
Do you say pharmacy or drugstore?
Chemists.
Did you say black bag or trash bag? I did ask for a black bag in Florida one time in the hotel, and the wee man stared at me for fucking 10 minutes. And I'm like,
You are the kind of
and
you
he
will
just
speak
looked- and
in
he just
Belfast
looked at me,
slang
and then
anywhere.
he was like, do you mean a trash bag? And I went, oh yeah.
May McFatridge having a stroke behind the receptionist desk.
It was
Do
like-
you alter your accent if you're let's
Look,
say in London
the way I
or
talk now,
somewhere
the way I
in?
talk now is not the way I used to speak.
This is you
This
brought
is
down
me
a level.
after fucking America for a
Right.
few years on and off.
Yeah, yeah.
And literally when I went to America, I had to change my accent because I spoke far too quick. And fucking that's fucking not the fucking hamburger. And they're like, where the fuck are you from? And you're like, and they were from Ireland too. Like, do you know what I mean?
It depends who I'm with. If I've never met you, I'll sort of clean it up a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas if I know you, like when I talk to him, I go deeper Belfast. But if I was speaking to you, I would go cleaner.
I still say sweats and filling station.
You got a fucking problem when I say sweat, you fucking bastard.
Well, you fucking don't really talk like
No,
that.
that's fucking.
do that there,
No,
like, know
that's
what I
it.
mean?
No, that's it.
Go on,
that's it.
Sandra, on your
So
fucking
if you're,
filling
let's
station.
say you're in Edinburgh, some hotshot from BBC comes up, hands you his card. What accent are you doing there?
Yes, nice to meet you, sir.
I've heard of
But is
it.
it not-
I've heard
But
you
now
do that
is-
accent.
but now
I've heard
is
you
it
do
not-
that when you're being nice to like a woman.
yeah.
Or like in a shop when something's being done for you. I've heard you do that. Like when we were in that hotel, we went to a real swanky hotel in Manchester and we were just doing dead meat, right? And I mean, it was swanky as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was £20 more expensive than the Ibis. And I was like, Willie, I'm booking this. This is a 5-star
Yeah, yeah.
hotel. Fucking we're going there, right? Swanky as fuck. And he was like, hello, how are you? Yes, no problem. Thank you for the breakfast.
Thank you
and I was
very
like,
much.
but here, said all that, had 3 fries, fucking Weetabix, and fucking...
Yeah, I was like, I think
He
I'll
was
go
like-
for a
He
third.
was like, do you know what? I fucking paid for it. I made it.
Oh, I was like, do you ever get when you're not hungry, but you're like, the food is still there? so
Why
I'm
didn't you
going
just
for another
fucking
one?
take a tray of sausages and just call it a
Jan-
night?
I basically did.
Do you know way when you stay in the cheap hotels and
Yeah.
you look at the breakfast and you're like, that sausage doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But you go, I've paid £8 for this breakfast. I'm gonna.
Or you get the, like, it's bacon that looks like it's sort of swimming in just white
It looks like it's in a wee
sauce.
sauna,
And
like
the
it's
Yeah.
soaking.
The eggs are still stuck
Yeah.
in the fucking spoon.
It's rotten.
Do you know- and,
Fucking
but
rotten.
we went to this hotel and I have to say, what was it like?
Oh, that breakfast was so fun.
It
Best part
was
of the trip.
Fuck it. We were like,
I had three
fuck.
fries and then a
And this
bowl
is
of
when we
Cocoa
only
Pops.
arrived. We went for breakfast. It's not even the next morning. This was the first fucking day. We get in there and we were like, can we check in early and can we get a breakfast?
But then the next day, because we'd had so many edibles,
We're looking for a situation where we
we
can
were
have 3
stoned over
breakfasts.
and then had an insane breakfast the
Did
next
we?
day. Didn't we?
No.
Or am I mixing it up with the day we got there?
Nah, we get up and get out of that hotel and fucking had to go to.
Oh, that's right.
My wife's embarrassed. I bring brown sauce with me in my bag. Not like a fucking bottle of it, but like the little
Sachets.
sachets. Because
But I get
fancy hotels.
Dangerous.
Why? It's
In case
worse.
of bus,
What if a fucking bus?
you keep it in cellophane bags.
No, I don't.
You should.
I'm a
Oh,
risk.
you raw dog it?
I'm a risk
You
taker.
go bareback with the brown sauce?
It'll smell like brown. There's nothing worse than dropping. Do you know when you're going somewhere for the day and somebody calls in the apple green and gets you a breakfast with a roll and the brown sauce just 1 meat dab goes
Yeah.
there and for the rest of the day, all you can smell is that.
Yeah.
I love brown sauce.
I was listening to
Do you remember the
Blind
film
Boys.
that put it in?
Oh yeah, intermission.
Intermission.
Put it in the tea. I was listening to Blind Boy talk about brown sauce, and he said brown sauce was invented.
I know this.
Yeah, because British soldiers were coming back from India in like the 50s or 40s, I suppose. And they had a load of chutney when they were over in India. So they land back home, and one lad goes to his local kind of butcher / fucking grocer, and he's like, can you fucking try and recreate this thing I had over in India? What's it like? It's like spices, but it's sugary and it's sweet. There's fruit in it. And he just described as best he could. Your man made brown sauce. Fucking brown sauce is invented.
Do you know why it's called HP? Brown sauce.
Hewlett Packard.
House of Parliament sauce.
No way.
That's why the Westminster's on the
That's why I always get chef. Yeah.
Is that
Do you know
actually
what?
why?
Yeah.
That's
Brown
insane.
sauce is an Englishman trying to make chutney.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I never eat it, but I've never had it.
Have you not?
Never in my life.
Fucking love brown sauce.
No,
Oh, you've
that
never had
shit.
brown sauce?
or red sauce. Oh, I've had red sauce, but I don't like it.
How have you fucking not have red sauce?
I've had red sauce, but only on beans. Like I wouldn't put it on things.
Only on beans.
Hold on.
Beans is
Calvin,
mostly
I'm gonna
red
blow your
sauce.
mind. I'm gonna blow your mind. He can't even mention potatoes.
Don't know.
He's sick. He can't eat
Are you
potatoes.
serious?
Any type of potato.
Is this a fucking protest?
Yeah, I'll drink brown
It's
sauce
like
now.
the most Protestant thing ever.
That's unreal.
I am not Irish. I don't even like potatoes.
They're fucking terrible. And we're here.
Why? Potatoes don't even taste like anything.
It's a texture thing. See the mush
Yeah.
as soon as it hits my tongue.
What about like a fucking turnip or a sweet potato?
That's still same
It's a
texture.
potato
Just
family, yeah.
it's the same texture. It's gross.
What about
And
a chip though?
it has to be dead thin.
Just the
dead thin.
least amount of potato.
Yeah, and even then, like you've seen, I'm never a guy who's like, oh, if chips are there, fine. I'm never dying for them. Like,
If I got a bag of chips and just mashed them up into a big ball, you wouldn't eat. You wouldn't. To be honest, that doesn't sound great.
you've seen me eat a potato. Like literally, the minute it hits my tongue, my face like swells up.
Wow.
And I just start like throwing up in my mouth. It's fucking rank.
You just see the image of Jerry Adams in your face. And
Yeah.
You just pass out.
That's fucking disgusting. And I hate them.
It's just a lot of guilt from the family.
It's sort of like an Oliver Cromwell reaction to potatoes, isn't it? We have to do your DNA to see how Irish you are.
I know. I can't imagine. It's
I
much.
think we'll order it, and we're going to do that to see how Irish you are. Because if you're over 90% and you can't eat a potato, we're going to have to send you to counselling.
Please do if that's all. If
What's
that's
that
what takes to finally
therapy?
get
What's
counselling.
that therapy where they just fucking cover you in potatoes? Well, it's not specific.
Well,
That sounds like an Irish.
What you're afraid? What you're
I was
afraid of?
molested as a kid. Get in the potato bath.
As soon as they something the Christian Brothers would have done, get into it. Get into it.
Get into the potato silo.
Brown sauce either. Then they get the daddies out, and he's like, no!
Daddies are HB. That's the.
Well, daddies brings up more of the trouble.
I know daddies is a sauce. I know daddies is a
Daddy
sauce.
sauce?
It sounds weird. You said
daddy
get
sauce?
the daddies out.
You want to be with a daddy sauce on your sausage here?
Here
Not a
come the
great name.
daddies.
Not a great name for sauce. see for you being from County Cavan. So would you have shopped mostly in the south, or would you have went in the north?
We would have went to the north for like stuff, essentials like fireworks and petrol, and beer. We go across for drink.
Cigarettes and stuff like that, were they cheaper?
Cigarettes were a lot cheaper fucking 10 years ago. But we used to go to Clogher Market in Fermanagh a lot.
Yeah.
Like Saturdays I'd head up. I remember that was class. Like that was unfucking real.
How did
You'd
you
buy-
feel going over the border?
When I was very young, yeah, there was still paramilitaries out. I remember we were going to a match one time and we were giving this owl lad a lift. He's like a local lad. He used to smoke. He used to rip off the filters and go, "Them yokes would kill you." And he'd light the next fag off the last. Like he chain smoked his whole life. He lived to about 80. But we were going across the border.
About the filter, wasn't he?
We were going across the border to a football match, and the boys were out with the guns, and they stuck the guns in. And he just rolled down the window and said, "Well, boys, did you get many pheasants today?" But I remember the same lad. He lived a good age. Like he lived well into his 80s. And when he was dying, they called for the priest, and he was not a religious man at all. And the priest was doing the last rites, and she was saying, "Well, Johnny, do you reject Satan and all of his unholy works?" And he says, "I don't." I said, Did you hear what I said? John, I said, "Do you reject Satan and all of his unholy works?" And he goes, "No, I don't." And he goes, "Well, why not?" And he goes, "There's not much point in us falling out at this stage." And he's fucking just died.
Fucking brilliant.
Just died. His last act was just telling the priest to fuck off.
I love hearing stuff like that. I fucking love hearing stuff like that.
There's a level of, you have to wonder, like,
That's
obviously now
dark Irish humour,
funny people become comedians, but 50 years ago, if you're funny, like, you just worked in a shop.
You were just he was a bit of a.
There was so many untapped comedians.
I maintain the funniest people I know
are not comedians.
aren't comedians.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know that? Because a lot of them
Thanks.
can't speak.
Thanks.
What?
Thanks.
So you to take that personally.
Thank
like,
you.
Not you. I mean, there's so many people I know that are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But then if you put a mic in their hand, they freeze up and they're like, well,
That's it's a level of performance.
yeah.
What percentage of comedians do you reckon are not even the funniest person in their friend group?
I almost would reckon all
pretty
of them.
high. Do you know why? Because I think when we're not on, people expect you to be on.
Yeah, I'm shit crack.
Do you know
I
what?
don't wanna be around
I'm a
anyone.
fucking raker. I'm a messer. Like, even if I don't know you, if I'm walking down the street, I'll say something.
Yeah.
So I was always that. But I think now I have to behave myself sometimes because I can get myself in trouble. So sometimes I can be like, I remember being in Australia and there was these boys from Cork. I couldn't understand them. I didn't know what they were saying, and they had phoned their friend. Oh, they got the fucking comedian, fucking guy, fucking come down, and they all came down, and they're all talking, and I couldn't understand. And your man started slapping the table and went, "Come on, come to the office for fuck's sake! What are you doing? You're no crack." And I'm just sitting there going, "I don't know what you're saying."
I need a Manchester person to translate
Do you
this.
know what I mean? It was just, I genuinely didn't know what they were saying, so I was lost in it. They were that quick the way they were talking to each other.
yeah.
And so they thought I was shit crack. And then it was a Glaswegian guy who used to play football. He called me over and he was like, "I'm saving you from that table because I can see that you don't know what they're saying and they're getting frustrated as fuck the drunker they get."
Yeah.
So it was like a nightmare. But that was people from Cork, but I could understand the fucking Glaswegian. You know what I mean?
Cork's a hard one. Like, Andrew Ryan's very well spoken for being from Cork.
Yeah, they bet it out of him. Well, see, that's because he left.
He went
The
in.
majority of Cork people don't leave Cork.
There's times Chris Kent will slip into deep Cork, and I'm like, what did you just say? Because they're still speaking at 2 mile an hour.
I got booked to do a gig in Cork and I was doing the Galway Comedy Festival, so they're like, "Could you go to do this gig in Cork the night after?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, I'll get up and drive down. I may as well drive that way and then up." So I went down and done the gig, and there was 2 people in the bar that were from Cork. The rest were from Derry and the north. And I was like, so I'm on stage and I started looking around the walls of the bar and I was like, "I'm doing a gig for Paramility something." They were like, "Yeah." So they were all people on the run.
No way.
Yeah, who'd all moved to Cork.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So I was like, right, okay. Now I know what type. They were like, "Are you staying the night?" And I was like, "No, we'll do the gig and drive fucking home." Which you'd done. I get in
It's
the
only
guy.
7 hours. It's fine.
I
It's fine.
literally like fucking went. Because the guy says, "You're not even staying in the hotel, just staying in my house." And I was like,
They're the worst gigs.
what if it gets rated?
Like,
What if it gets rated? And I'm like connected to all these people who's on the run. Like, that's what was going through my head. I was like, they raid his house and they go, "Oh, aye, is that right? You're a comedian and all that. Dead on. You're doing fucking 12 years in Port East now." Do you know what I mean? I was just like, nope, not even risk it. Drive home.
Have you ever had to do that, stay in someone's house after a gig?
yeah.
I hate
And
that so much.
you're lying on a bed and they come in and they offer you a yogurt or something. And you're just like,
You said that. I was sitting there going, "What?"
you just
you
want
want
to
a
be
yogurt?
You just want to be in a fucking hotel.
Yeah. Because you're indebted to them because you're like, "Thank you for letting me stay."
B&B is just as bad. My friend, I remember there was a comedian, an Irish comedian, Carol Tobin. She's like, staying in a B&B is like staying in your mate's parents' house after your mate has died. It's like such a good
I
description.
went over to Edinburgh
Yeah.
to do the Monkey Barrel and couldn't get a hotel room because there was some big fucking show on, like a tattoo thing or something.
Yeah.
And I had to book an
A couple of
Airbnb.
Marys, dick tattooists.
Right? I had to book an Airbnb, and the guy was Brazilian, didn't live in the fucking flat. There's 4 fucking rooms in the flat, and I came home drunk, and I was fucking, the key won't work, and I was like, what the fuck? And I had bought food, and it was lashing rain, I was soaking. You know, you're walking through Edinburgh too, it was up fucking hills.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, it was fucking dark, and I'm like, fuck, sorry, got your man. And I sent him a message, he said, "Ring me." And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Look, I'm trying to fucking lock, and it's not fucking working." And he was like, "Do you think you could put your shoulder to the door?" And I was like, "Mate, I'm just waiting for you to give me the go ahead." And he went, "Right, go for it." And I kicked the door in, and a girl and fella fucking started squealing in the fucking bed. And I went, "Fuck, I'm not sleeping in that room."
Christ.
They
That's when you put on the posh accent.
they are in their room.
Sorry to
and
disturb you,
going,
everyone.
They're
Everyone
going,
fucking bad.
What's that noise? Somebody keeps trying our door with a key, right? And then all they can hear is, listen, I'm fucking standing here and I can't get into this room. It sounds like Liam Neeson on the other side of the door. Next minute, your man, and I'm like, all I was waiting for is you to tell me to do it. And I ran, boop, and they're fucking doing them. Ah! And I was like, there's 2 people in my bed. And he was like, what number is on your door? And I was like, 2. And he went, you're staying in 3. And I went, all right.
You're very close.
It was right next
So
door.
close, like,
right next fucking door. And, but it was
Just
funny.
relax.
Wasn't
It'll
funny
all
at the
be
time.
over soon.
I was waiting on the bad
on up,
review on the Airbnb, but he never ever put it up. So
That didn't get you a bad review on
no,
Airbnb?
he did not. No,
Wow.
I apologize. I did.
Theirs
say-
must have been
What was
awful.
your review? Great hotel, very weak doors.
All I had to say was getting in between them 2 in that bed that night. It was a bit weird. They stayed up most of the night. I had a good sleep.
God, that's awful.
It is awful. Cabin, how did you get into comedy? Being from Cabin.
I did animation. First of all, I did in college.
Okay.
So I went to Scotland, did animation because I think I liked telling funny stories and stuff. But like it just took ages, and then I started working in the International Bar in Dublin, which is like that's where basic comedy started in Dublin. And I was just watching comedy every night, and I was like, I think I could fucking give this a go. And that was it. Like, it's not a great story. Although Carl Spain says you're like fucking Goodwill Hunting. He could have worked. He could have been a janitor in any school in the country, and he chose fucking MIT. So I could have been a barman in any pub, and I was like Dublin's best comedy.
What
club.
made you think you could do stand up more? Someone who was brilliant and you go, I would love to do that, or someone who was shit and
Someone
you go,
who was shit.
I would surely be better than
The
that.
best inspiration you'll ever get is somebody's shit.
See, I disagree.
You think you're inspired with brilliance?
Do you know?
I think
Like
someone brilliant makes me
didn't
go,
I didn't look at Richard Pryor and go, oh man, I could do what he does.
Yeah.
I still don't think that.
yeah.
But
when you seen the level of people that was
when
there.
you see somebody who's on doing 10 minutes and they're shite, you're like, well, I could fucking do 10 minutes.
See, I think
I
someone,
get that more. Not that happened with me, but I get that.
See, I see someone doing it really well, and you're like, oh, there must be a way to do it. Whereas when someone's really shit, I start going, there's no way to be funny. You have erased the notion of funny from my
Right,
head.
yeah.
I don't see how it's
I
possible
see a
to be good here.
shit gig, like me doing a shit gig myself.
Yeah.
It makes me do a better gig the next time.
What was your worst gig?
Derry Gunley in County Fermanagh. Funny
What
enough.
happened?
They contacted me and they were like, "We do this big occasion where the whole town comes into the town hall." And I was
Straight
like,
away, you're like,
I know
the whole
and
town.
So what? I had my show.
Just
which
leave
is
your
Stagger,
pitchforks
which is
outside.
the one about my stag do,
Yeah.
getting the tattoo and stuff. And I was like, I'll send them this recording of me doing this show. If they book me after that, then we're okay.
It's like you're trying to put them
And
off.
I sent it up there, and he's like, I phoned him and I was like, oh, it's fine. I've watched it now. They're grand. Come on up. And I got in the taxi, drove the whole way up, fucking nearly across the fucking border, this wee fucking town, Derry Gunley. And I went in, it was like the Waldens, they were all walking in with food, and it was just big rows of tables. Like the whole town was
They
on it.
just put up a barn.
It was a fancy big fucking community centre, but
Bring your own
they
and
seemed to
everyone
be
showed up with
very
a roast.
affluent. Like, it was all big houses and stuff, so it was a lot of people who were from Enniskillen who had moved out of the big houses. But like they had kids doing fucking ceilidh dancing, and I was sitting there with the fucking mirror, the fucking doctor, the dentist, and all at the table, and they're all going, "It would be good. Imagine if you weren't good," and all. And I was going, "Yeah."
I'm imagining.
So when it was my time to go up, and I still wasn't even put off at that because I sort of went to myself, do you know what? I just have to be cleaner. So
You
there
were
was-
the only comedian.
I was the only comedian.
Fuck.
So there was a bunch of like war veterans sitting here at the table, and they all had their medals and stuff on.
Which war?
It must have been the second. And they were
What
sitting
year
there.
was this?
This was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's got the cast of
But there
Dad's
was only
Army up front.
five. Like, they were really old, like the Timmer frames and stuff. They were really old. They were sitting there and had medals and stuff. And I got up and I went, "It's good to see boys on here tonight." Just trying to bring the. I thought everybody would laugh, and they were like, they all just looked, and then for 30 minutes, I mean, 30 minutes. I counted the last 10 seconds on the stage because I drove up my taxi and I was like, if I don't get this 100 quid of these, I can't drive home because of no fuel.
I mean, elderly veterans, fucking famously well respected.
World War II, you know, and you're like,
It's not like, yeah, let's give it to the fucking out cunts who are back from the war. Some lad lost his leg in
couldn't
France.
hear. I think that was my next line. I was like, they could barely hear it. Do you
The
know,
one lad
and
of like one of them old fashioned big horns sticking out of his ear.
I had one of those in Edinburgh this year where it was like I sold like 40 something tickets on like a Tuesday, which is good. Tuesdays are hard, but all the crowd was like 75 plus. And I was getting nothing for 30 minutes. And you know I never lose it on stage.
What is that?
I lost it at one because I did a joke that all was like the best joke and I got nothing and I snapped and I was like, you fucking have to put some effort in here. Like, I can't pull a good time out of my hole. You need to start smiling. By the way, I thought COVID wiped half you cunts out.
See, everybody thinks he's a lovely wee guy. He's a wee bastard.
When I lose my temper, I'm a wee bastard.
He is a wee bastard.
Yeah, I'd say you're a real Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
Yes. Normally I'm well mannered, but if I'm in a bad mood and you piss me off, I'm like, get the fuck out
There's
of my
nothing
face.
worse than like, you know, you're getting ready for your best joke. You're like, this will get them. And then it'll be plain sailing and they just don't laugh. You're like, well, I'm fucked because everything else is less good.
Yeah. I had one that was almost could have been a disaster because I had a joke where the punchline was about Down syndrome, right? Now, it sounds horrible. It was a good joke, right? But there was a guy in the front row who had it. And in my mind, I was like, I can't do this joke now. But then went, well, if I don't do the joke when he's in the room, then I believe it's a bad joke and I believe it's nasty.
Yeah.
So I did the joke, said the word, and everyone went and looked over at him, like looked straight at him, and he was just in the front row playing a Game Boy. He didn't give a fuck, man. He was just sitting there like,
he's like, fuck's sakes, Willie Thompson still doing that joke about us?
fucking shit. It's retired now. It's a very old one.
Retired now?
Jesus
Christ.
Retired. I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was just before COVID, a friend of mine moved to New York. Colin Tyrrell?
I know Colin, yes.
So Colin messaged me on Facebook. And
I remember gigging with him. Like, I was gigging down south regularly, and he had just started. He was fucking great.
Yeah,
First time I was in here was
he was always bowl, like, yeah. But he messaged me, he's like, a lad I used to be friends with is setting up a charity gig now. Used to be friends with is very, very important. Because if he'd said, lad I'm friends with, I'd be like, sound, I didn't examine. When you say a lad I used to be friends with, there's a reason why. You
used to be friends.
Yeah. So he said, a lad I know doing charity gig, would you do it? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Sounds good. It's good to be seen, to be
doing
a nice
something.
nice
Give
person,
him back.
you know. Yeah, give him back. So I messaged man. He said, sound. A couple of weeks later, I get the poster. Poster looks like it was done by an 8-year-old on fucking Microsoft Paint. Like, it's just like really badly edited.
Well, did you do the poster?
I did. I did by hand.
So the gig arrives. I arrive at the gig, and Paul Marsh, a comedian who's also a fireman, he's coming out, and he says, Kevin, don't go in. Fucking run. Just fucking run. I was like, why? And he goes, your man's a joker, man. He only did this gig so he could do stage time. He's never done comedy. He wanted to MC. This is his way of doing MC by organising a charity gig. There's no mention of what charity it is. It just says for mental health. He hadn't booked the room. He just arrived at a venue and said, hey, I'm doing comedy downstairs. Can I have a microphone? They miraculously gave him a fucking microphone. There was people already downstairs, so he's asking them to throw money into a fucking bucket. Your man's like, he's a joker. Everyone else is pulled out apart from you. I'd do a runner. And I was like, man, what would Chappelle do? You know? Fucking, you can't run away from the hard gigs. The hard gigs are what makes a fucking good comedian.
Before you went in?
No, I didn't actually. I don't know what gave me this sense of fucking confidence.
But you must have thought,
like, these are the fucking.
I think there's things like that when you go, hell, these other cunts. There's something
They're
in your head
weak.
that's, man,
They're weak.
I'm
strong.
I'm gonna fucking.
I'm gonna
rock
fucking destroy. Yeah. Because this is a fucking hard gig. This is what it's all about, lads.
It's like when you see 5 people down front of you and you'll be like, I'll kill it. I'll save the night. And then 30 seconds in, you're going, fuck no, this is hard.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah, that was good advice. But I get down there and your man comes up to me and he goes, hey, how's it going? And he's like, come here, I'm really nervous. I'm just bringing people straight on. So like, he's not even doing any material. And I said, do you want a drink? And I was like, no, you're grand. And I see him go to the bar. He orders like a bunch of drinks for his mates, like vodka and tonics and fucking vodka Red Bulls. And I see no cash exchanged. And I said to the barmaid, I was like, has he got a tab? And she's like, yeah. The name on the tab is the word depression. So he was just going up saying, here, give us 2 vodka and tonics, stick it on depression, love, and having a big laugh about it. So I was fuming. The guy before me lost his mind on stage. All the comedians were replaced. So the guy before me, a friend of mine, in the middle of his set, the guy running it went up on stage while he was on stage and started wrapping toilet roll around this comedian on stage. And man's like, what the fuck are you doing? Man said, I'm wrapping you up, which I did laugh at. That was probably the funniest thing he said and did all night. Because I was a pretty solid fucking joke there, buddy. But so your man gets fucking pissed off, throws the microphone down, fuck this, throws the microphone down, microphone goes, beep. The guy picks up the microphone and goes, okay, that was Robbie, everybody. Next up, Kevin. Doesn't say my name right. I get up.
Did you?
And I get up and I was like, first joke, nothing. And I was like, do you know what? I think we've actually had enough comedy tonight. This is an absolute fucking joke. I started slating you, man. Started giving out. Has anyone paid here? Nobody's fucking paid. This is pointless. It's for charity. There's no fucking charity. Your man's drinking the fucking tab anyway. This is a load of bollocks. Good luck. I was but 5 minutes on stage total. I walk off and I didn't think there'd be any consequences to this at all. His entire family, who were the majority of the audience who were there, came at me. And I was at the door, my back was to the door, and they were like, you fucking arrogant cunt. Mr. fucking RTE, thinking he's too big for the little man. You just crushed his dream. It was his dream to do stand-up. And I was like, well, fucking, go to an open mic. Like
Don't do
everyone
it the
else.
same way anyone else does.
Yeah. It's like, you shouldn't organise a fucking non-gig, blah, blah, blah.
He's setting up his own gig like it was the 1980s fucking Eddie Murphy comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
It was,
full over.
And they were like, fucking, his dad was trying to reach my neck. And they were his brothers, I suppose, were holding him back. His dad was going to fucking kill him. Do you remember the bit in Veronica Guerin where Bishop Brennan sees Veronica Guerin and he just sort of explodes? He just goes, cunt! Like it was like that. It was a volcanic explosion. And they were all ready to kill me. And A-Man just opens the door behind me, grabs me by the shoulder, and we just fucking drags me out and we just leg it to the Inter. But it was probably the worst thing.
That was his dream.
The lesson, you crushed his dream. The lesson of the story is when a fireman tells you not to go into a building,
Don't go in.
you fucking listen to him.
The thing about Paul's fucking great. He used to come up here all the time, and he used to bring burn gifts. I don't know. He used to bring up fire t-shirts for me, and I was telling him I was working down beside the Short Strand, and
It's like stuff he got out of houses and stuff.
no, it was
Joe, give it a wash. There's a bit of a smell.
It said Dublin Fabricate on. It said Fabricate on the back.
Savage.
So I would take off the high fizz when I was working on Belfast over there, and would go into the bakery, and they wouldn't charge me any money.
Ah, class.
Right? But I never put 2 and 2 together with the fucking fire t-shirt, right? So I was just like,
Thank you for your service. Here's some scones.
Cheers.
we
Where was this?
It's Short Strand, just here.
Oh, right,
It was
right.
like the bus station, so we moved around to this fucking bakery. So the girls were like, there you go, that's dead on, no ways up. And I was going,
This is just
well,
after
maybe-
9/11 when there was a lot of fireman love.
Maybe the knew I was from West Bell. I don't know what I thought. I was just like, oh well, I don't get. And so I went in
I
the
must be
next
getting
week.
really big in
I
comedy.
went in the next week, and fucking this guy fucking came running in. He's like, quick, quick, quick! There's just been a fucking real bad car accident there. And the girls were like, just go. And I went, the fuck am I gonna do? And they were like, he's a fireman. And I was like,
Roast them.
I'm not a fireman, I'm a fucking joiner. And they were like, what? They just pulled back the stuff, and I was like, what the fuck, like, and I had to ring Paul. I said, Paul, I never even clicked on. They had seen me wearing a fireman's top, your fireman top, and then fucking thought it was a fireman.
You did stolen valor to get sausage
Stolen
rolls.
father to get fucking a creamy dam.
You ever seen those videos where people like
In America, it's
confront
fucking wild.
soldiers?
Yeah.
Being like, what's your badge number? He's like, I was 118 platoon. And he's like, well, I was 118 platoon. I don't remember you.
Where'd
And then
you
the guy,
serve? Yeah,
the guy shits
I
himself.
served in McDonald's in Georgia.
And the guy's just there like, I just wanted 25% off my Walmart order and feel like a cunt.
Jesus, man, you'd have to have some balls to pull that shit off.
Especially to get It's only like fucking £3
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
The mad thing about it is, it's not even just like I've seen ones in England where they actually turn up to parades,
Fuck.
and then the rest of the guys are like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then they go, "It doesn't make sense." Like the one I seen, your mom was like, "Doesn't make sense. Your badges and your this and then that doesn't match." So you're not, and he's like, "Oh, I was in a special platoon." And he was like, "I have a special platoon for you." Do you know, like it was.
Oh, you're fucking special, all right.
But them ones are like, I don't get, like them ones. Somebody walking into a Walmart in America, you will bump into shoulders, but it's you know, there's a chance you're not going to. He probably gets away with it 99% of the time.
Aye.
But walking up to a fucking commemoration parade dressed, and they're all like,
That's even weirder than trying to get a McMuffin for half the price.
that was like the guy who fucking phoned up, and that only was Georgie Way's nephew, and got a fucking game time for Southampton.
Yes, I know this one.
Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Was it?
Southampton were in the Premier League and they weren't doing very well.
Was it Harry Redknapp
And
was in charge?
It wasn't Harry Redknapp, I don't think. But somebody rang up and was like, "Hello, this is Georgia Weah, and my nephew needs a football team." And the next minute, this fucking dude turned. Ali Dia, was that his name? Turned up. They gave him a number, and that Saturday there was a match, and they put
Graham Souness was the manager.
Graham Souness was the manager.
Holy
That's even
fuck.
fucking better.
Oh, that cunt can say nothing ever again.
again. That like I know him slabbering.
He's not very good on the pitch. Well, at least he's a fucking player. Jesus
And
Christ,
they put
Graham.
him on, and literally they took him off like 12 minutes later because they realised this guy is the football. But the fact the guy got to play was fucking unreal.
Because they had sent them like a video
Why
compilation
you
of him
thought it was
playing.
Harry Redknapp was because Harry Redknapp put on a supporter,
Because he was like giving off in a pre-season match.
and the commentator came down and was like, "Who's your man?" And he was like, "That's big fucking such and such from Bulgaria. He was the fucking star of the European Championships." And your mom's like, "Oh, I knew that. I was just checking."
I do appreciate a good blag though.
Aye.
Like if somebody can pull something off, you kind of.
I was at the Ireland England game on Saturday. There was
Yeah.
a guy turned up in the England shirt.
No
with
way.
69 on it. Was stood beside him, isn't it? And then they clicked on because he was really fat. But he had 69 on his jersey, and he stood beside it, and all the rest of them had tracksuits on.
My cousin was at the '95 match at Ireland England.
Yeah,
in
the
Dublin,
trouble?
with the big trouble.
What's the
They
struggle?
ripped the seats up and started fucking them.
He said it was
and all.
nuts. So they put the English fans
Above.
above the Irish fans. So Ireland scored and the English fans went fucking ape shit, and they started ripping up seats and throwing them down, and it turned into a massive riot, and the guards came in, and he said, "I've never seen guards hit people with such joy." It's like it was like they were herding cattle. They were just like fucking like battering, and then all the Irish fans like just joined in with the guards to beat up the fucking English lads. And the guards were like, "This is grand," fucking deputising lads around them. And he said it was chaos. And he said they just bet them all onto the ferry and just fuck off back home. Like, leave your bags.
I remember.
Like, just bet them on like they were cattle. Good,
Yeah,
hit
get
the fuck, hit the fuck. Come on.
This is for the potatoes. This one's for Croke Park.
I went to the Euros in 2016, and there was a time, I think it was Northern Ireland were playing Ukraine.
That's it. That's a football team up here.
What,
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're having a bit of trouble. They have a lot of hooligans in there. But I think England were also playing in Paris that day. There was a day it was like England and Republic,
Yeah.
or maybe Wales and Northern Ireland were all in Paris. And after the games, all the fans were sitting drinking, and there's the English fans, then the Welsh fans, then the Northern Irish ones. And then out of nowhere, the French police just came, right? Started lobbing tear gas at the English fans and
Just as
beating
a precautionary measure.
out of nowhere. Beating the living.
Because they don't like them.
Oh, that's evident. I picked up on that when they're
It's
drop
probably
kicking
like,
them.
if we don't use this, it will come out of our budget next year.
Yeah.
What is the date
But
on
like
this?
anytime one
Let's
of the
use it
Welsh
now.
fans or like Irish fans got there, the police were like, "Oh no, you're fine, you're fine.
Well,
Go enjoy your time." Just beating the fuck
the
out of
Irish
the
fans are ridiculous abroad because I think they started doing this thing where it's like a who can be more nice competition. Like they were literally changing old ladies' tires. Now she had a flat tire, first of all, or like rescuing cats out of trees.
were
It's
like,
the funniest one
like stacking
during
up
the Euros.
chairs.
Yeah,
Stood
yeah.
outside an Ann Summers shop.
It's like being nice out of spite for the English.
They were outside an Ann Summers shop during
Aren't
the
we
Euros.
lovely? Aren't we great boys?
And
Aren't
every
we great
time
boys?
the girls came out, they were like, "Woo," and then they would save them, and then the girls were going, "Ooh, I bought this," and they were all like, "Wah!"
Yeah, all the Irish fans, they are just always like aggressively
But
nice
Northern
aggressively
Irish
nice.
fans and the Irish fans won an award.
for like best supporters.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Like, it was
I
like
think
a-
it was Northern Ireland thing.
I was like, was that
wasn't-
award set up for them too, because they're like, these people normally don't get done, but they're so nice. Why do they? Let's give them an award. Let's just say user friends.
The other thing it is too, we never qualify for fucking anything ever.
Yeah.
So the whole time we're there, just like, it's nice to be here. We're in there, be sound. And anytime someone was a dick, everyone's like, why are you getting on? We get invited to this nice fancy tournament, and you're spitting on people.
You're letting the
Fuck
family
off.
down your ball bag.
Yeah, I think that's literally what it is.
I think that award was given out because it's like ever see in the school sports day when a kid cries because he finished last.
Fair play.
And then they go here. They can't really
Well, actually, Northern Ireland have probably done okay.
Both got to the
yeah.
round of 16.
round of
Boxing
16.
above the red. Boxing above
Yeah.
the red.
Yeah.
Which are like Ireland's happiest memory of a World Cup is probably like Italia
America.
90 and
Italian 90
we
when
didn't-
they
we-
get against
Where'd they get to?
They
Not that far.
played Italy in the quarterfinal, or the one before the quarter. No, they did. They got the quarterfinal because they played Romania. They beat them on penalties, just about, and then they got Italy, and Italy went on to win it. No, or did they get beat in the final? But they had a player called Scalacci who had the best tournament. He was like the top striker, and they beat us 1-0. Like,
But we still sing songs about that.
we're
1990.
all part of Jackie's
We lost, like,
Northern Ireland got through in 1982 to the
Aye,
semi-finals.
and beat Spain.
We still don't fuck up about that. That's like our main thing.
Yeah.
It's like we were
It's
good
like the
40
one
years ago.
fella. It's like the one fella that got the finger of good-looking bird in Mosney in 1984.
Anytime
And
he
his
gets
mates was
slagged and he's just like-
tell him about that blonde one. Oh, she was amazing looking.
Anytime I get slagged, I'm like, well, there was that one
One
cracker.
time, in
Ah,
Mosney. Maybe an ugly cunt, but he fingered her. Remember?
Germany won Italia 90.
Germany won Italia 90, but America 94. They done well.
How far do we get in 94?
We got till just before the quarters, just out of the group. We got out of the group, but we beat Italy 1-0.
That's not bad.
No, it was.
Ireland and Northern Ireland are the same in football wise, in that they'll be shite majority of the time, but once every 10 years, they will just have a banging team.
Should just be one team.
I agree.
Just one team. George Best always wanted that.
He wanted a lot of things. He wanted a third.
So we have it
lever.
for rugby.
Yeah.
Rugby is a one island team.
Boxing,
And boxing, but not football.
not football.
Why not?
I think it was just because the FAs and the IFA fucking just set up, like, even the way they had this.
We've had trouble with 3-letter organisations.
Haven't we? There's always been splits in organisations, hasn't there? Yeah, so it was just one of them things. It's just been split from the partisan sort of thing.
Yeah, but
I
in
think
rugby,
it was
they're
the
fucking
sort of-
the best team in the world.
Yeah.
I think maybe that happened because when they formed,
There
the
was
six
such a
counties,
split, of
it
course.
was
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
that. So but you think about it, you're up here and you're like, they've given us a country and it's our country, and it's like people go, why do they like that? And you're going, well, technically they don't have an identity, and then all of a sudden they've been like, no, we're giving you this one.
We do have an identity, and our identity is it's our fucking country.
No, but that's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? It's like it was signed in fucking blood by them, and so people go, fucking why do they like that? And you go, well, I can sort of understand because it's passed down, and then you're told like this is our country, and then all of a sudden, well, you aren't the majority now. You don't have all the jobs. You don't have all the say, and they're like, what the fuck's happening here? So I understand why it sort of came about and why there would be a football team and stuff like that. But in the same way as people have asked me, why do you travel down to Dublin to watch a match? And I went, I actually played football in Northern Ireland teams when I was younger, and I was ball boy, so I got to see what it was like.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad has the videotape in the house of me when Northern Ireland scored and I was doing ball boy for Northern Ireland. I didn't cheer.
Oh, you can't.
I didn't cheer.
Oh my God.
There was only 2 ball boys didn't cheer, and I remember being pulled in after it and they were like, you didn't cheer when we scored, and I was like,
Let's play
you
a
know
Game
what?
Boy.
It was good.
Oh, you're the lad.
I retarded from being a ball boy. Retired.
God, because being a ball boy, like when you're a kid, that would be the fucking coolest job in the world.
It was like I remember doing it, and I remember you getting the tracksuit and all on, and then the manager came in. He was like, "If we're winning, really slow. If we're losing,
Quick.
Fast. Get that ball out.
no
Get that
fucking
ball out.
about,
Did you do it for Celtic as well?
No. No, but there's a tape of me and Celtic. What happened was Celtic were getting beat, and I reached over the wall and grabbed the ball, threw it to Steve Fulton. He put a corner in, and Celtic scored, and they went on to win the match. My dad had recording because he was like, "You touched the ball, and they won the match." You know.
How does a boy become a ball boy?
Well, then I was playing schoolboys, so I had to play for the B team in the schoolboys. So it was one of them ones where
You went to get the ball, and some lad was some
No,
spotter
but-
going like, "That kid's got something." Hey kid, get over here.
It's a free.
You want to
job.
go to the big leagues?
So they're like, ball boys, you bring them in. I think it's
Then
the
half
kids.
time with Northern Ireland,
I
like,
think
you blew it, kid. You had it all and you blew it.
I think it was more they wanted you to get a feel of the whole process if you were
Yeah.
anyway decent at football. And
It'd desensitise you to the fucking spectacle of it, I suppose.
nah, do you know what annoyed me was genuinely was the chanting. And like people knew I was a Catholic, so they were giving me a bit of shit.
Right.
So that's why I didn't celebrate. Because no matter what I did, they
What were
going,
the chanting?
Fat
I'll see if I remember any of them.
them.
Fat
You
finger.
wouldn't even- you
Did they
wouldn't-
put some rhythm in that? Fat finger balls?
You wouldn't even have been born. Do you
No,
know
it
what I
wouldn't have
mean?
been. Yeah.
So it was 1984 or 1983.
That's way before I was born.
So like it was, but I just remember I felt like I was in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
And if that's
What
meant to
tune
be
would they
your
do, fat
team, like it
finger
was sort of
bastard?
like a disheartening thing.
What about bell bottom girls, or fat bottom girls?
Fat Finian.
Finian bastard, you make those balls spin around.
More being like fat Finian bastard.
You're just a fat
Finian
Finian bastard.
bastard.
Okay. Fuck it. I looked at your eyes there. It's
Sorry,
like you're
sorry.
back in the stadium.
PTSD.
Getting bullied in stereo.
I get it though, because
This is in the middle of the troubles too. Like so, it was like, you know, it was really
a
fucking,
little bit scary.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I get when I played. For
I mean, the players that were Catholic that joined Celtic fucking get
I thought you were going to
threatened.
say the players were Catholic that joined in.
They,
Come on, lads. We're all on the same team.
they felt threatened playing for them. Like they were threatened, and they stopped playing international football. So
Jesus.
Lennon
picture,
got
like,
a hard
just
time of.
Yeah, and they loved them up until then. Do you know what I mean? So it was.
I had a mate that lived in Stocklands there. You know, so he would see. What's up? Sorry. He would see.
He walked in like we were all fucking.
Moving on.
He would see all the Northern Ireland fans, you know, go up and along voucher to go to the matches, and he kept like torturing his dad. Dad was telling us, he says like, "Go, Daddy, can I please go to a match? Can I please go to a match?" He's like, "No, son, like we don't support them." And I was going, "Please, Daddy, I want to go see the football. I want to go see the football." And he was like, "Right, fuck it, we'll go to Windsor." And brought him to Windsor, and they sat in the crowd, and like literally the whole way through the match, it was just fucking
Anti-Catholic.
anti-Catholic songs, and he was like.
Wonderful. Love to see it.
And he's just like, I mean, I can't bring him again.
Do you know, it's probably like for like Catholics or people from West Belfast going to that, it's probably the same. Like if I brought him to a Celtic match, or do you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
I found it amazing how the Israel-Palestine conflict has made its way to Belfast.
listen. Greg's coming here fucking caused fucking controversy.
Greg's?
Greg's.
Why? The fucking sausage roll place.
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
Because
Like,
there's a halal place in there before, and then Greg's just were like, we actually own this place, and just sort of forced
no,
them
but
out.
what happened was when they opened Greg's actually in Divis, because the guy that owned the shop sold sausage rolls and stuff, he wasn't too happy that they were fucking muscling in. So then there was a campaign started against the shop because, do you remember?
To be fair, it was
Because-
offered to them in an ancient text.
But there was people going in and throwing paint bombs and all, like, so obviously
way.
there was hoods getting sent in, fucking take them bastards out. And then it was the whole thing, you're going to give them English bastards money and not fucking me, the wee
Yeah.
man that owns it. You know, and there was this whole camp. You remember it?
I haven't seen too many Greg's flags though.
What?
I haven't seen too many Greg's flags.
Well,
on
what
the
happened
Same
was,
colours
what
as
happened was
Sheffield
the Shanghai were like, come on over here, we fucking look off. You know what I mean? Can we get sausage rolls out of this now? How many sausage rolls a week do we get?
I was
Because you have to pay racketeering money over
I was
this thing.
convinced that when Oasis announced their big tour, there was going to be like Blur flags in the Shankill Road.
Yeah. Do you know
Blur
what?
forever.
Nobody, he played with a Union Jack guitar. He's definitely fucking one of us. Do you know what I mean? Fucking mental. Well, we're going to have to wrap this up.
We
'cause
will.
Everybody's going
We
to be
will.
coming in.
Have you anything to promote before you?
Ooh, I got a podcast with Justine Stafford called The Lovely Show. When is this going out?
Friday.
Do you know what? Just fucking follow me on Instagram. I'm close to like 20,000 followers. 30 people
Fucking
away.
flat.
That's all I
So
want.
annoying when
I
it's
just
that
want a
number.
fucking solid number.
Me and Kevin had a good time at the backstage in the electric picnic, but the funny thing about it was, and I never even sent you a message about it, there was a random guy there
Yeah.
talking to us.
Yeah.
And he admitted that he shouldn't have been there. He just
Yeah.
blagged his way into the back, and he was from the north. And he just was standing talking balls, and I couldn't get away from him quick enough. But he was like, and I was like, nobody knows who he is, but everybody that kept coming in, like Russell Hart came in and went, hello, how are you, Russell? And like, this guy was fucking nobody.
Yeah, full fireman outfit.
He brought a Fermanagh t-shirt, but he was in getting free beer.
Yeah,
free
that's the
coffee.
equivalent of
And
going
he
into a
was just-
fucking cafe with a fireman's jacket.
It was just,
He was
it
getting
just
free
a random-
banter.
And he says, I have a catering fan down here. And I was like, right. And he was like, oh, and I just thought, I'm going to blag my way in there and just come in. And I was like, fuck. And I knew then. And I'm like, I feel like a cunt because he's talking to all these comedians and they're going, I don't know who this guy is, but he must be somebody.
It's Paddy's boyfriend.
Yeah. And it turned out he was my boyfriend.
Yes, go follow
Yes,
Calvin on
follow
Instagram. Tickets for my tour are on sale now, Paddy. What have we got to plug?
Yep. Obviously, low ticket warning sent out today, so it's selling crazy now. Millennium Forum down to the last 200 tickets in December, so fucking buy the last 200 tickets if you want to go see me there. Glasgow, could do a few more. Dublin, Ambassador, have you any? We already had to move out of the Olympia, and now we're in the Ambassador, and I still need to sell tickets.
Fuck.
So anything you can do to help me, Kevin.
I'll say it to all my family.
You say the only
It's his dream.
Yeah.
Don't crush his
Nice.
wee
All
dream.
right,
Don't
yeah,
crush
yeah,
my
yeah.
dream. It's not even a gig. I'm
Ring
just
into
gonna
Joe
turn
Duffy.
up.
Say
I'm
you
just
can't
gonna.
get tickets.
Yeah.
That's the thing to do.
Joe Duffy.
Joe Duffy on RTE1. It's like a
Have you
complaining.
contact?
It's ring it up. The number's on the website.
See, I did ring Joe Duffy and I got a BMW garage at Swords.
Right. What?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, there is a Joe Duffy who sells cars.
Yeah.
No, ring up and say you can't get tickets. This gig is selling out. It's such a disgrace
Right.
for Paddy McDonnell.
Right.
And see, get a fucking
Well, if you-
get a bit of
if I
fake
phoned up and
publicity
says,
going. Like,
I was meant to be going to the Olympia, but now it's fucking moved to the Ambassador. I
yeah,
fucking
the
can't
tickets are
understand
selling
it.
so fast. It must be a brilliant show.
Selling so fast, we moved it to a smaller venue. It's selling so fast.
So exclusive.
Yeah.
We're cutting
You're
it.
selling more than I am in Dublin anyway, put it that way.
Are you doing too?
I'm doing Sugar Club.
Okay.
I'm still not selling well. Please come see me.
Yeah,
Please.
Wally. Any ideas?
yeah.
But thank you, Kevin, for
Thank
coming
you so much
on.
for having me on,
No,
lads.
it was fucking great. And it's
Absolute
we know,
pleasure.
we know we're not in the studio. We just had to come down and meet Kevin here so he could fit in, and then he's away back early tomorrow. So
Yeah.
that's how much we wanted him on.
Hit up the Patreon as well. We have what? Okay. I don't know what that was. Hit up the Patreon.
You said hit.
Oh fuck! Right. Check out the Patreon. We have like 3 years of extra episodes on there. Live
Smash
shows.
that like
Can we
button,
announce
guys.
the show?
Like and
Can
subscribe.
we announce the show?
Yeah.
We are doing Thompson's Garage. Fucking the legendary Thompson's Garage. Sunday what?
20th.
20th.
There we go. Come on, Sean.
October the 20th we're doing. And tickets are
Not on sale yet.
not on sale yet.
But they're coming.
They're coming.
They're
like
coming.
Christmas.
Set
And,
an alert.
Yeah. So we're doing
How
that.
many tickets we can sell?
We can sell
At
that.
least 5.
Yeah.
There'll be at least 5.
Thompson's. Imagine Thompson's. Do you want to be there? And we are giving a couple of free ones away to some of the Patreons.
Sweet.
So anybody that's in Patreon. Not everybody.
You love a wee giveaway. You're like this morning.
Oh.
Oh, I love this.
Because of the Oasis thing, it fucking put my head away.
Aye.
Put my head away, so that's why I'm giving away.
See, I'm doing
tickets.
the opposite. Tickets are £500 for my show.
When you
no
go
one
on-
can get them.
When you go on, you have to go in a queue, and then when you get there, we'll put the price up.
Yeah, yeah. And then you'll not get them anyway.
Okay. All the best, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I'm just riding away on an awful summer's day. I'm overwhelmed, but the sun will keep me safe. There'll be orange flares and lava affairs, but if we turn back now, what's the point?